Hello and welcome to In Stitches. I thought I'd show you the cylinder arm machine. It's an industrial walking foot with a cylinder arm here, quite similar to your home domestic sewing machine if it's got a free arm. We've got the cylinder arm here, but this machine's a lot heavier than your domestic sewing machine. So I thought I'd show you an overview of the machine today. This particular machine is a typical TW3 343D. I'll start off with a demonstration showing the advantage of a cylinder arm machine, and I've got a cylindrical piece of material here. It's actually a jeans pant leg that I've cut down to a bit smaller, and so you can see that it's a tube of material basically. It's not overly heavy, there's a couple of seams in there, lightweight seams really, but I'll show you the capabilities of the heavy duty side of the machine in a second. But let's just start with that there. I thought I'd just turn under a hem at the bottom there. I thought I'll just hem it over maybe once, twice, just like that there. I'll get you in closer for a demonstration there. The nice thing about these machines is obviously you've got the cylinder arm here, and I'll just take my material. Now I'm no machinist, I can sew, but this job really probably needs, to do it properly, really needs like a folder or something to assist with consistency of seam and things like that, but I'll give it a go. It might not look too fancy, end result, but I'll have a bash. And you can see there that the cylinder arm helps with just the positioning of the work really. It's nice and easy. You can do this on a flatbed, you can hold the material, if the flatbed's sitting here, the material can sit down like that, and you can just pull the opposite side across and keep it out of the way of the sewing. But these are really good for like sewing bags and shoes, boots, all that sort of thing. Pretty handy. This could take me a little while, so bear with me. The seam is going to be very inconsistent. So I'm just doing it all by feel really, just winging it. But really just to show you its capabilities. Now there's quite a heavy seam there when it's rolled over, 3 times. Just trying to get that in there so I can maybe finish it off. All you machinists out there, don't laugh at me. I'm just winging it. Yeah, this result is not pretty, I can tell you. But it shows you what it's capable of doing. These seams here, so there's 3 layers of denim there, and I'm doubling it, tripling it, so you've got 9 layers of denim at that seam there, and the compound feed walking foot just absolutely ate it up. No problem whatsoever. So that's what it's really good for, is this tubular sort of work. Alice wants to say hi. Alice is going to say hi. Very curious. She's growing up fast. A little kitten. Not so much a little tiny kitten anymore. I've got a hacked up old pair of jeans here, and I thought I'd demonstrate its capabilities as far as heavy duty is concerned. I've already gone down this seam here, but we can see here there's, I think these are called felled seams, these here, where you've got a piece of material it's folded over like that, and there's another piece folded over like that. So you've actually got like 4 pieces of material in one of these seams here. And this intersection here, you've actually got 2, 3 felled seams. So, you know, you've got 12 layers of denim. So it's pretty heavy. That seam there, I measured, is about ½ an inch, or about, you know, 1.5 centimetres, somewhere around there, you know, roughly 1.25 centimetres. But yeah, I'll buzz down there and just show you, you know, that the machine is quite capable of just hoeing through all sorts of heavyweight materials. Once I've done this here, I'll give you a quick rundown on the machine itself. That lump there is not overly heavy, but I haven't got the machine set to its full speed either. The person it's going to wants a fair amount of controllability, so I've got the positioning speed, this low speed here, set fairly low. And you'll also notice that the machine's automatically needle positioning, so every time I stop, the needle is stopping down in the fabric, and that's just, you know, good for pivoting. And if I back heel on the treadle, we get needle up, and if I go again, we get needle down. So there are no problems whatsoever with 12 layers of denim. Hands-free foot lifting. I'll show you that closer in a second. So there we go. It's that seam there closest to the original seam. It's the one close to that gold stitching, that white stitching there. Comes along, you know, no worries whatsoever. Just like a hot knife through butter. This machine's a direct drive. This is the motor here. And so that's a little bit different to your more traditional setups where you might have a motor under the bench here, and, you know, a belt driving up to a you know, pulley on the hand wheel there. So this is direct drive. All your controls are done through here, so you can set speed, positioning speeds, maximum speed, minimum speeds, things like that. Over here we have the stitch length dial, and we're currently set to 6. And so the lower the number, the shorter the stitch, and you just push this in and turn that to adjust the stitch length. It's locked in place there. Bobbin winder tensioner. We come across, we've got a built-in bobbin winder here, and we've got over here, we've got our adjustable foot pressure, and we've got our top tension threading units here, and there's a close-up of the mechanism there. And this is a compound feed walking foot machine, so the needle feeds with the material. I'll get you a close up. So you'll see as the machine sews, the needle is actually sewing, you know, it's actually feeding with the material. That's what they call a full compound feed walking foot. And you'll notice the inner foot there is also walking in unison. They're sometimes called a unison feed. The outer foot here, this stepping one, that doesn't do any feeding as such, that's just clamping. So we've got a foot control here, so that's, you know, just push down to sew there, and heel back to do the needle positioning. Needle up. And over here we've got foot lifting. Push that down, we get foot lift. Just like that. We also have a knee foot lift lever. there. So good for hands-free operation of the presser foot there. We've got a reversing lever here for doing your back tacking, back stitching. Under this plate here we've got the vertical hook there. You can see it in operation there. It's a reasonably large bobbin. Not the biggest you can get, but certainly not the smallest either. Drop-in style bobbin there. This machine is automatically lubricated. Just tip that back and show you the sump there. She's a big heavy beast, I can tell you. Down in here we have an oil sump with a pump there, and there's a little return pipe here to return any excess oil that's been pumped through the system there. Yeah, so that's pretty handy. Saves you manually oiling everything. There are some manual oil points on these machines. It's quite common for a walking foot machine to have some manual oiling points, even though they are automatically oiled as such, not fully automatically oiled. Well, not these ones anyway. If we have a look around the back here, you can see these red spots here to indicate oil points. There's more oil points down here. There's another one down in there, and there's another one in behind here. And when you first receive a machine, if you get one brand new, it's a good idea to oil those oil points, because if the machine's been sitting for a while, it might pay to get a bit of oil on those points there. Also, I would oil the needle bar and the presser foot bar. There's also a little hinge point in here, a little bearing at the base of the take-up I would oil as well. So yeah, that's about it. I thought I'd give you a quick overview of the typical cylinder arm full compound feed walking foot machine. And thank you as always to my patrons, and a very special thanks to two new patrons, Dan D and Michael Dean. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.